Welcome to Raw and Unfiltered, watching the third quarter with your boy Leo Biaz going over the third quarter Kings versus Jazz. It was refreshing to see the team start the game well, but obviously, same old with them not knowing how to finish games, not knowing how to put teams away. It's been the biggest issue the Kings have had all year long. So let's go over the third quarter. Just to let you guys know, this stream could get shut down at any point. It got shut down on the last one on my birthday, which was a Thursday on April 8th. The NBA has rights over all their footage, and even though this is being used as educational purposes, they can still shut this down. And this could all be for waste, in other words. But let's get the party started, man. Make sure you hit the like or subscribe. Also, you guys can join the chat so there's a link in the description, and you guys can always click that link, and you guys will be on the screen watching the film with me. So let's watch this. All right. Here we go. The Kings are up by 6. So, actually, before we actually started, one of my biggest pet peeves from last night and other nights that we've seen Luke Walton from an X's and O's perspective is, can you please stop fouling intentionally? I understand the analytics say this guy is a 44% free throw shooter, blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, it hasn't worked all season long. It hasn't worked all season long. The worst part out of everything is that the announcers, who I love, by the way, will say, man, the team just saved a point. No, that's inaccurate information. The team did not save 1 point, okay? The team did not save 1 point. The team gave up a point. They decided not to play defense. They decided that, for whatever reason, giving up 1 free throw with the time stopped and not playing any defense, getting an actual stop so they can score 0 points is, for some reason, saving the point. No, you're giving up a point when that person, whoever that player is, makes 1 free throw. You're not saving a point, you're giving up a point. Saving a point is if he missed both free throws, okay? So please, stop with this false information that, the Kings are saving up. No, they're not saving a point. They're giving up a point when you don't have to. Play some defense, man up, and let the rest take care of itself. Please. All right. Just wanted to get that out the way, man, because it's frustrating. In this game, the Kings were up by 6 going into the half. And right off the bat, we see, again, right there. So this right here is what I talked about on the last film session. So Rashawn hits a down screen for Buddy Hield to pop up. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell reads it. And now Fox sets a nice down screen for him to catch the ball in the middle, right? At this point, with Fox here, okay, and with Mike Conley, who is a bad defender, literally backtracking with his back to the basket, or with his back to Rashawn Holmes. For Rashawn Holmes to take that next level, Rashawn Holmes needs to attack the basket. Make the referees make a call on Rudy Gobert and on any big. He has the speed, the coordination to go to. We've seen him Euro step that. He needs to be aggressive, and he has the space to do it. But what does he do? He retracts, he goes back, and he just gives it up. Whenever you're at this spot of the floor, and someone is playing you off because they know that you won't shoot the ball, attack that big man. I've been saying this for weeks now. I want Rashawn to elevate his game, to take his game to a new level. I believe it's in his bag to attack this guy. Whether or not he makes that shot, it is what it is. I'm going to live with the results. He can either get a foul call or make the layup or miss the shot, which again, he second Rudy Gobert and Rashawn are first and second respectively in the field goal percentage. So I'm going to take my odds and play the analytics, if that's what Luke wants to call it, right? So right here, go at him. Go at him. Give him a spin. Go at him. But he doesn't. He goes back with the ball, and he gives it up back to Buddy Hield, which then they go into a pick and roll, I'm assuming. Yep. Beautiful. That was beautiful. But that doesn't take away everything that I've been saying for weeks now, which I want Rashawn Holmes to attack it. He ended up getting a good shot, and Rudy Gobert is just phenomenal shot block, one of the best we've ever seen, if not the best we've ever seen, because this dude is Defensive Player of the Year. That length is tough. His timing is phenomenal. Man, you can go on and on about Rudy Gobert. That was a great offense possession that was altered, that was halted by a great defender. Shout out to our Zone Productions, man. What's up, my brother? Or you can take a step back for a wide open mid range. Yeah, so that's part of role optimization where Luke has to allow Rashawn Holmes to either shoot that mid range free throw extended shot or to attack the basket. You have to let this guy know beforehand and say, hey, man, you have the freedom to do this. Now, if you turn the ball over, hey, man, we're going to live and die with the results. Be genuine with him. Say, I'm opening up the floor to you, essentially. I want you to take that next step. I want you to improve your game. And this is where I want you to be. Let's meet some goals. Talk to these players. Be open to these players. That's how it should be done. Now, whether or not that's how it's being handled, I don't know. But right there, he elected to essentially just bring the ball out and restart and run a different play, which again, it's fine. It's fine, and it worked out in terms of getting a good pick and roll. People know, everybody knows you have to stay on Buddy. You're not going to leave him open or else he's going to pop that shot, right? But hey, the end result was in the basket, but the process of getting that shot, a quality shot, that happened. So they executed that very well. So let's move on. What's up, chum? I mean, come on, bro. This is what I'm saying, man. Like, so, okay. So shout out to Rudy Gobert, right? He makes the amazing block. Great timing. Then he runs the floor. There's miscommunication here. There's a line of three with Harrison Barnes, Buddy Hield, and what is that? De'Aaron? Is that De'Aaron? No, okay. So that's Mo Harkless, Buddy Hield, and De'Aaron Fox. Sorry, screen's kind of small. So this right here is on Buddy Hield because Buddy has to recognize, even though this isn't your man, right? Even though this isn't your man, you have to pick up man. You have to pick up man. And Mo Harkless is saying, hey, I got two. He's looking at his man, not realizing that Rashawn Holmes is back here. So a mistake on Buddy. He had to pick him up, or at least run to the wing and have Mo Harkless switch on to here. Mo can't guard both guys. Mo does the right thing instinctually to guard the paint, but then that what? He does his best, right, to close out, but then that leads to a wide open dunk. Bad recognition by Buddy Hill on that one for sure. Again, you guys can join the conversation. The link's in the bio. All you got to do is just click the button. And again, this stream can stop at any point. So I have no control over it. I'm just going over the film with you guys and hoping that this is somewhat educational for you guys and you guys can see it see it in a different light and see why things and where the breakdowns are. That way they can improve and you can just start to enjoy basketball and just see it a different way, man. And I know the people who watch these film sessions, they're into basketball. Like there isn't many casual fans just watching it because it's very niche, right? People want like the talking head analysis, hot takes, and that's what is popular in America. That's what's popular in mainstream. Watching film is very niche. You have to have somewhat interest in it, so that's why the views are a lot lower. But I really enjoy watching it, and I know some of you appreciate it as well. So that's why I'm doing it, and it furthers my understanding of basketball, watching it more at a slower pace and just seeing where the breakdowns were. Ultimately, because I want to become a coach one day, so all this is good repetition for me as well. So here we go. So you sit. So they set the double staggered for Buddy, and then which that goes into a pick and roll that he declined, right? So he runs to the free throw line and he gets a shot. So I'm not mad at the shot. I feel like a shooter of his level can hit that shot. Very interesting though. It's a very interesting set, right? Go back a little bit. So you set the staggered screen here, which gives him some room to get away from Mitchell. But then he also fakes it here, where he could have handed it off, and there could have been some confusion here, but he doesn't. Um, but that's plenty of room for him to get up a shot. So I'm not mad at this possession at all. He just missed an open shot for Buddy Hield. All right, so they get back on defense right there. I mean, essentially very similar, but the difference was that they passed him the ball, he was in rhythm rather than him going off the dribble, pulling up for a shot. So I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but set shots will convert at a higher rate than shots off the dribble. That's a fact for most players. So a similar set, but better executed by the Jazz. Here we go. Here we go with the pick and pop at this point, and it gives De'Aaron enough time to just attack the basket, and he just missed it. He was fouled right here. Like this is an automatic foul for a lot of guys. Like right there, he feels the contact. Again, it comes down to how the refs are so inconsistent with how they call the game. Right? Why is it a foul on James Harden, Kyrie, all the labeled superstars or all the labeled all stars? But you can't get that call if you're De'Aaron Fox, which again is frustrating, which is why he got fined $20,000 because he let the media know, hey man, this is garbage, right? They get back on defense. Now he's getting reachy. Switch. So one of my big issues, and the scouting report for teams, they know that the Kings are bad at defense, and they know that the Kings switch a lot. Like, if they just call a screen or like it's an automatic switch, which to me is ridiculous. You have to fight over screens. And right here just shows you that this type of scheme, even though it's to the strength of Rashawn Holmes, you still don't want to put him in this position to where he has to always guard and switch onto guards. And it puts him in a tough situation in the sense that it's going to put him in foul trouble. And this team has no depth at that position. So why is it that every team knows that, okay, let's bring on Rashawn Holmes. We'll take the odds with attacking him, either trying to get him in foul trouble or not. And if you're the Kings, like, yes, I feel comfortable with him guarding guards, but on almost every switch, like, no, like, I don't want to put my big man in that type of situation. You don't see Rudy Gobert do that. Rudy Gobert is playing his own, right? Um, it's just, again, Coach Rex to me, God bless his heart, but he was one of the big reasons why the Clippers gave up that 3-1 lead to the Nuggets because of his indecisiveness, and we've seen it all season long to where sometimes it's way too late when the Kings actually start doubling or the Kings start trapping, and you were like, where was this pressure all along? Why haven't you brand this? Why haven't you decided to call this when the Kings actually needed it? Right now, it's a little bit too late. And you see a lot of the indecisiveness all game long. And you saw what the Clippers last year as well. When they were up big, what happened? They let go of the gas, right? They weren't pressuring the same. You give a team momentum, and guess what? Boom, they will attack. Basketball is a game of momentum. And these guys are professional athletes. They're the best of the best. Guess what? If they get some stops and they start scoring points, it's a ripple effect, man. It's just the way it is. Our zone says I'm fine with that not being a foul because that's weak, but don't call it exactly. So I'm with you on that, bro. Like I'm fine with that not being a foul, but when they start calling it on the other side or for specific players, that's where I get so upset, man. And it's just like, bro, just it's a foul or not a foul, right? It's black and white. Let's not decide, oh, well, this guy's a star or this guy isn't. So I'm not going to call it for him, but I'm calling it for him. I hate that. But I agree with you. It's definitely soft. And unfortunately, they call it very inconsistently. Like, very inconsistently. Uh, it's the wrong call to begin with. And then when you call it inconsistently, it doesn't help anybody. So again, switch. I don't like the switch. Now you have Rashawn on a point guard. And this big guy, right, who was very good in the paint. Luckily, it was a long rebound, but it still led to an offensive. Again, man, like you don't have to switch everything, man. It's just frustrating to see. That's tough, bro. I mean, that shot right there from Donovan Mitchell, that's just a superstar doing superstar things. There isn't a defense, not even De'Aaron Fox. You see De'Aaron Fox school dudes who are elite athletes like it's nothing. And this guy is as twitchy as De'Aaron. This dude is just so athletic. And when you get that low, bro, and you know, like this footwork, this in and out move, step back, my God, I mean that's hard to do. Like that's hard to do, man. And so I was playing against a 17-year-old. I don't know if they go to Capital Christian or not, but these kids are dunking. Obviously, I'm not a high flyer. I'm a good player, and just playing against these twitchy athletes who are just doing 360 dunks already, and you're just like, damn. And he got me really good. And I'm a solid defender. I anticipate a lot of things. But the kid is just so twitchy, man. And he got me the same way Donovan got this kid. So just imagine if these kids are that explosive, what a guy like Donovan Mitchell is in real life. Like, until you're in that position to understand fully what just happened, that is a crazy move. And he's done crazier moves like the highlight package from, I think, last night where he just broke dude, man. And that was ugly. But my point is, that's not an easy shot to. He's just a difficult cover, man. And whoever wants to slam on that defense, like, oh, like, no, like that's just better offense. Period. You know, the best school in European basketball are the Balkan countries. So, say even the best in the world. I did not know that. Did not know that. At this point, they're down by 2, timeout, right? That's nice, bro. That's nice. Just look at that. Coast by coast coverage. Kid's a stud. He does his damage in the third quarter, man. Here we go. Okay. And he plays some defense. Okay. So you get some action. from Buddy, right? Cutting. So that's more of an Iverson cut here. And then he set the pick and roll. It's just so hard, bro, when you have this giant in here. That's typically a nice a nice floater push shot for Rashawn, and he don't play Rudy Gobert every night, man. But that should have, again, like, no, no, no. Rashawn needs to attack him. If you're giving him this much room, attack him. Man, it's just frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch. And then you end up shooting that, right? A bad shot. Like, you end up shooting a bad shot because of certain limitations from players, or not even his own personal limitation, but the limitation from the coaches not allowing certain guys to do certain things. And that's where the freedom of play can help out, man. Rashawn is a good athlete. Allow him to attack, not to retract and look for somebody like a chicken without his head. That's what it looked like right now, literally. Come on, man. Damn, they lucked out on that. Another shot, bro. Here we go. One on one. See what happened though? How he just changes things. He's like, oh, that's a dunk. I'm sorry, that's a dunk on anybody else, and that's just Rashawn respecting this dude. Like, man, like, this dude's gonna bat me. And luckily, he had the speed, the coordination to get that off. And I know he has it, man, and it just bugs me that he doesn't have the freedom to do it from the top of the key is what I'm referring to. It was a good set by the Kings. All right. Easy switch. Push in transition. Push, push, push. Bam. Obviously, that really wasn't on the tower, but still, love the passion. He had somebody smile on him, and he took advantage of him. He ain't doing that like that if he was playing one-on-one. Good stuff, though. In transition, man, push the damn ball. Push it. All right, so here we go. Set defense. Oh, it's not there. See, that was better. He showed a little bit, and he stayed with his man, right? Why? There you go. You don't have to switch every time. You don't have to switch every time, right? That's a perfect example. Great possession, Kings. Great possession, baby. Let's go. Now you're in transition again. Buddy. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. That's how you play defense, man. Like, you don't have to switch every time. You don't. You don't. Here we go. Mo Harkless. De'Aaron is on Mike. There you go. Attack, attack, attack. Okay. You go back to that, bro. Like, come on. See, this is where, again, you switch. Just show a little bit. Show a little bit like you did the last possession. De'Aaron, fight over that. Get yourself over here and still guard the paint. And then if he still beats you, you have rotation here, right? And now you have a switch. Now you have what? This dude on Harrison on Rudy, which is not what you want. What happened here? Oh. He got him. Yep. He got him there. He's going to shoot 3. They shot so many free throws, man. Okay. It's a pick that goes into a down screen for Buddy. And he hits it. So, right? It's a fake pick and roll, which creates a little bit of confusion here. Or Rudy is calling out the play. Then leads to a nice down screen for him to just have some space. Or a flare screen, actually. Right? Bam. So good play, good recognition here. Kings are up by 4. Got some dribble handoffs going on. God diggity, another damn switch, man. See what I'm saying though? Like he just switched so easily, man. Like, why? Fight over it. And they still grab the rebound, even with Rashawn being there. If this isn't talent enough, like if you watch this over and over every game, and you're just like, oh my God. Why wouldn't you just go back just to showing a little bit and just fighting over screens, bro? I get it. Like, these NBA players are really good. But you just have to be more physical. You have to be tougher. These guys are soft. Like, this Kings team is soft. My God. Bad position by Buddy. Puts him in a bad position. Gets blown by O'Neal and for the easy dunk. No rotation, though. Still. But obviously, if he rotates, right? If he rotates, then it's an easy dump off. But then De'Aaron can rotate, and then it just comes down to, okay, do I give up a wide open dunk or do I give up this corner 3? Me would prefer to give up this open 3, right? But you don't. You give up a higher percentage shot, which is a dunk. Just bad scheme, bad players, bad decision making, period. And De'Aaron just does De'Aaron things. He is the offense. Oh boy, they're still up by 4 at this point. Just look at all the movement, bro. Like, no shot, boom, perfect shot. Perfect shot though. He just missed it. But it's not on the first one. They run their sets. If it doesn't work, they run another one. This is a typical Buddy shot. And it works. Like, this is a play for Buddy. And this works. Why? Because the tower is playing so deep that this happens a lot. So it's a good recognition by the Kings in that situation. Oh my God, scratch myself. Damn, my boy broke his ankles. That was an awful game though. They let Kojo just beat him. Here we go. Oh. On the switch. They love to switch. They love to switch. Right? Damn, bro, it's frustrating watching this team play for sure. Oh, get up. Okay. Whap. Got lucky there. Damn, bro, you should have shot that shot. Like, I feel like that was. See right here, Tyrese. This is what Tyrese would have done. Okay, boom, look off, and then splack, alley oop, and it would have been a dunk. But it still worked out, and they still got a 3 out of that. So again, Buddy's been solid in the pick and roll all year long. Okay. Here we go. That's just nasty, bro. I mean, what do you do? No hand up. Just quick release. DM doing DM things, man. Okay. Not bad. Bad pass, but good catch and good recovery for Mo Harkless on that one. Where we at, man? Where we at? Here we go. God diggity, bro. Buddy got to be better on this, man. Like, legit. Like, it's just bad defense, man. It's just bad positioning. So this is the third one he gets beat in this quarter alone, which then puts him in scramble mode, right? Still good recovery here. So this was good communication. They recovered well. So no damage done. Swing the ball again. I just love the fact that the Jazz just never stop moving the ball. Right? Still leads to a shot. Oh my God. I mean, their offense is just like so good. That's just better offense, period. Like, that's just better offense, man. Let's call it the way it is, right? There we go. Okay. He wants to shoot it so bad, and he still shoots it. I love this. He wants to shoot it. He's like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. He's like this itch, right? Oh no, I want to. No, and you know what's gonna happen here. Oh my gosh. Right? Rather like the Jazz, if it's not there, you you kick it out, and then you just rerun your offense. That is funny. Oh man. Here we go. Give that up, buddy. There you go, boy. All right. Wow. That's a foul. What? Shout out to my boy Skip though, man. He said, but I agree. Yeah, the switch everything has been utterly terrible for us. Facts, bro. It's just they don't have the personnel for something like that. They don't have the athletes or the defenders for something like that. Like, they're not the Raptors, right? It just doesn't make any sense, man. Coach Rex tried more elaborate defenses and just ended up giving up. LOL. But Rex is so indecisive, bro. You know, it's tough to watch him. That's the play. Did they call this? Oh my God, that's a foul. What an awful call. I'm done here, bro. This is why you get fined $20,000. This is why you get fined 20 G's, bro, because this happens every game. There needs to be accountability for the refs, man. There needs to be accountability. I'm tired of saying it. They need to get fined. That is an awful, awful potential 5-point swing. Literally. The score should have been 86 70, 86-77. Now it's 84-80. It's ridiculous, man. Bro, I'd be getting teed up right now. Man, bro. My gosh, that's garbage. Tyrese, Metu, okay, rolls, give it back to him. Like, Metu's actually skilled. Like, I'm not even mad. Like, Metu's been okay. Okay, so this is a much better possession. It just ended up in a miss. Good offensive rebound by Metu, man. He's lively. He's a lively athlete. And De'Aaron just does De'Aaron things, but nice block there by the Jazz. Go back to that. Let me see. Go back. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just great timing. De'Aaron going 100 miles an hour there. Whap. That's just special. I mean, that's just this kid having a 6'10", 6'11" wingspan, right? It's crazy, bro. That's nuts. Bam. Damn. That's tough. There we go. Oh. Oh, he's nice. Like Metu's nice. Like, Metu's skilled, man. Homestead have rolled. He let his man keep position and put Buddy in a box. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the offensive possession. Yeah, yep. He just stood there. Like, work. Yeah, man. Metu, bro. At any point, YouTube can just cancel the stream like they did on the last one. I think we're like at the 42-minute mark of the last stream where they just shut us down. But all right, so let's bring in Skip. Hey, Skip, Curtis, click the link, bro. Click the link so we can bring you in. Guests, Ed. Why is it not showing though? Click the link, bro. I'm gonna stop this because I don't want them to stop my stream. Where is it? Guest one. We should just focus on taking away the 3. Our paint. See, I think the opposite. I think they should protect the paint, and give up the 3. But they half-ass both. Do you want to join the stream, Skip? If not, so I can just finish it off. The link's in the bio, by the way, in the description. If you want to join it, let me try to cam. Why isn't it showing up though? Yay or nay? Just say yes or no. No. All right. Still don't understand why I can't just bring this dude in here. Skype. Okay. Oh, 'cause he's covering it, huh? Do it, Skip. Jeff the lefty. What's up, bro? Nope. Hey, Jeff, join, bro. Okay, guest one. Does it matter? Yeah, it don't even matter, to be honest. So, no. Hey, Curtis, are you joining or not? The link's in the bio, bro. The link's in the description, sorry. Alright, cool. It's the Ecamm Live one, bro. It says guest.ecamm live 85426 FA96. You can put the link in the chat, but if you're on mobile, it's not blue. But yeah, I got you. So if you can copy and paste that, or if you're on desktop, then it should be blue. But I don't know why it's not. No. Can you hear me? We're on a little delay right now, waiting for Curtis. Skip and Tosh. All right, cool. We're going to get more people on right now. Here we go. So, yeah, man. So, right now, when Curtis joins, we'll talk about what he's saying by essentially, I think you said you rather give up the paint and give up the three, which is interesting because I'd rather do the opposite. All right, one sec. Let's see. There he is. Can you hear me, Skip? Dope. Got the green screen, though. There he is. Can you hear me? What's up, Justin Snyder? Can you hear me? Leo, you suck at computers. Me? What? What do you mean I suck at computers? Can you hear me? Yeah? I can't hear you. Can't hear you yet. Justin, I'm not playing Top Shot. Is that me? Because your
Yeah, it
volume.
says that it's right.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. What up?
Perfect. What's up, brother?
Yeah, my bad. I was watching you on my iPad. I didn't know that you might ask me to join. So I had to like set up real quick and get on my Mac. My fault.
No, it looks great. It looks great. So that's what I was telling you with Ecamm now. It like lets you just do a link and people can just join via that link now. They don't have to
Yeah,
download
that's
Skype or
so much easier. Yeah, I use Wirecast and it's similar. Like I can just send someone a link and it
okay.
just patches them in, and then they can join the stream. Like so, I like that they added this. This is dope.
Perfect.
I'm a little loud, so you might have to turn me down so I don't hear the echo, or maybe the mic pick up the echo.
Okay. Yeah. So can't use echo cancellation. All right. I'm put you like at 60.
That's
Good.
I think that's better.
All right.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, yeah, that's better.
All right. Perfect. So you were saying that you rather give up the paint than the three, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't think our paint defense is going to get any better than it is, and the three is an additional point. It just multiplies. Like we know the math on it, so
Yeah.
I would rather than let's say I don't want to say give it up. Maybe that's a little bit too extreme of a statement, but I would rather them focus on taking away the three.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at you because the Kings half-ass both. Like, they don't protect the paint or the three. And a lot of the good defensive teams, they rather give up a contested three and protect the paint, like the Bucks, like the Raptors, like the Lakers. And it just seems like whenever you watch the Kings play, they simply half-ass both, and that's why they get scored on so much. Like they have no identity. And I know you were talking about Rex earlier. And to me, the fact that he's so indecisive, sometimes you'll see them just put the pressure on the fourth quarter, and I'll be asking myself, where was this in the first, second, and third? Like, why are you in such a hole? Then you want to set these traps and etc. Like, no, like, dude, it's way too late.
Yeah, it is way too late, and I don't want to. I mean, I know you probably have more information on that than I do, but I've seen it so many times where people get a good assistant or associate head coaches, assistant head coaches. We see coaches that like, Kenny Atkinson, who turned around a whole team and then go somewhere, place else. And, they can only do as much as the head
Yeah,
coach will let them, because there is a whole pecking order and you not stepping on toes and all of that stuff. But at least I could say with this, it seems like Rex was trying for a good amount of time. Rex is down to make adjustments. We know who doesn't make adjustments, and that's why he gets out coached all the time, and it's Luke.
100%. 100%. And this game, like this third quarter, they were up by 6, and you just see all these switches. A lot of it to it. On 3 occasions where I pointed out, Buddy got beat just off of bad fundamentals. But still, when you have a negative defender like that, your other 4 guys should be so much more alert, should communicate better. And I feel like, yes, that's part of their IQ, but that's also part of the scheme. So it has to do a little bit with both. So when you have a negative defense, like obviously if you have Bagley and Buddy, that's where it gets tricky because you can't hide both. But when you have one guy, it's easier to hide. And I just feel like even if they try to hide him, the other 4 guys just don't know how to adjust, how to rotate properly. And I don't know if it's them or if it's somewhere in the middle where it's the scheme and them. But to me, it's extremely concerning, and that's why I don't think Luke will survive after this season, bro.
Yeah, I can't see it. Um, it's so strange. I mean, like, I deduce a lot of things based off of like what I see and then what we hear and then reading articles and podcasts
Yeah.
and you know yeah, I can't see them being able to justify it, because Monty, I feel like, was encouraged, lest I use the word force, to keep Luke. Okay, fine. You want to let a GM pick their coach and then
Right.
implement what they want to. But with us, ended up being buyers at the trade deadline instead of sellers. At least in my mind, I'm thinking this: Monty got went out and got the type of players that he wanted to have on the bench going forward. So at the very least, Luke doesn't know what to do with him, but Monty has them and says, for my next coach, at least I give them some time to like get to learn each other and how each other plays for the next season. In my mind, that's best case scenario.
Exactly. Exactly. And what has been, since I haven't really talked to you and just haven't had you on this season, what has been your biggest takeaway from the season, just overall? Because obviously, I'm on the no tanking side, but when people don't understand this, I don't believe in tanking. That doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, people are like, oh, well, the Kings are tanking even if they don't want to tank. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not what I believe in. Like, I believe in no tanking. That has nothing to do with the Kings whether or not tanking. Like, that's just those are my principles. So if the Kings do it or not, that's really up to them. Like that's what I live by, and that's what I believe in because I believe in having a positive culture where it's not conducive to losing because losing builds bad habits. So whether or not they're doing it or not, that's on the Kings. Like that has nothing to do with my beliefs. But what has been your biggest takeaway just overall this year?
Um, I would say my biggest takeaway is that is two sides of one coin. On one side, De'Aaron Fox has taken the leap that I think we all knew he could take 2 seasons ago and decided to do it
Yep.
this season. So but on the flip side, I think his lack of leadership is also getting exposed, and I don't think a lot of people like to talk about that.
Go ahead, go ahead, and
Yeah.
dive deep in it because
Okay.
it's real.
I mean, here's the thing: Fox's personality like set off a red flag for me probably around the year two, and I kind of heard him speak a little more freely, him being more comfortable talking with the media, being more comfortable with how much he was admired. and he's very cavalier and he's very flippant. I liken him. It's funny that he's on the Kings, so I liken him to a little prince who knows the world is his oyster, who knows that, be it the throne or what he's made of, he's better than everybody else on there. But also on the same time can be like, well, it ain't my fault that I'm doing everything I'm asked to in order for us to win. So it ain't my fault that we ain't getting these dubs. And he knows what to say when he's interviewed and people talk to about it. And he knows, everybody knows the canned responses that you're supposed to give. And we
Yeah.
know we do want to hear the right canned responses as fans and whatnot. But at the same time, like I don't see him. I hate to say this because I hated homeboy making a statement that John Morant is who De'Aaron Fox thinks he is or whatever, because
Yeah.
that's not the case, and I can't stand that. But at the same time, I see John Morant getting to his players behind, and I see him be vocal, and I see him, lead by
He a dog, right?
men. He's a dog, and I don't see Fox being a dog. I see Fox being a fox.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get mine. I'm gonna go hunt down my meal, and I'm gonna take it back to my foxhole, and I'm gonna eat. And if y'all want to, y'all can do
Okay.
what I'm doing. But if y'all don't want to, I'm not gonna trip.
Do you see him developing into that guy though?
Yes, but only under one condition. Well, only under two conditions.
Okay.
One, he ain't on the Kings no more. And Lord, please, sweet Lord Jesus, don't ever have that be the case. No time soon while he's in his prime. After his prime, okay, maybe, but no time while he's in his prime. But two, the other thing is to have an actual coach who, someone, and I don't want Thibs, but someone likened to a Thibs or a Nate McMillan, someone who gets
Yeah.
into the players behind, who gets into their skin. Luke was obviously brought in by Vlade, so everybody just likes it here, and no one wants to leave. But you don't have to like the coach that you work with. You don't have to like the players that you work with. You just got to respect them and everybody do their job, because winning will start people will start looking like, that girl.
Hmm.
I mean, like, you happily married now, but that girl that, like, kind of looked all right, and you're like, she look all
Yeah.
right, but then you find out like she's into what you're into. You're like, oh, you into what I'm into, and she like
Facts.
look cuter now.
Yeah.
That's what players and a
That's a
coach
great
would do. Like
analogy.
that's
Hey,
what it looks like.
Curtis
Like,
at his
I
finest.
didn't mess with this guy. Skip, man. I'll come in and I'll lay it down. But those are my biggest takeaways. I see that. And part of that is due to the franchise and the way that we brought Fox in, and kind of gave him the keys early and everything. And he earned majority of what he's earned. But the other portion of it is that we're so poverty stricken, when it comes to wins as an organization, that we were just ready to, roll over and spread V.
Yep.
Sorry for being graphic, what I'm
Yep.
saying, in order to do it. So it's a situation that the organization put itself in, and us as fans into.
So if you were Monty McNair, let's fast forward. Let's go back in time into a time machine. Would you have traded away and gone more in the tank mode? Would you have traded away HB, Holmes, and Buddy? Or did you like what he did at the deadline, just to, in a sense, give this team some depth, because that's been their biggest MO. Like, they have no bench, and when they go to the bench, they struggle. And even last night's game, the Kings are tied or leading by one or two. When Fox went when Fox went to the bench, everything fell apart, and that's been what the Kings have been all year long. And we thought maybe, hey man, with Wright there, with TD there, things are going to change. But the one thing that scared me, and I told people this, was Luke Walton. I said, he has more talent, but what is he going to do with the talent? Because I do believe in Wright, because I think he's a stud, and I think he's a good playmaker. But I just feel like the Kings, after, say, one possession, one play gets blown up, they resort into one-on-one play, and then the movement stops. So the big issue was, okay, you have Corey Joseph, no playmaker. That's fine. So you bring in a playmaker and Wright. Okay. Now you have Tyrese and this kid, and the offense still is so stagnant. So I can't help but just pinpoint the finger at the coaching staff, at Luke. But what would you have done if you were Monty McNair?
I want to do a few things real quick. I want to give you some props, and I want to simultaneously, well, I'll do that second part second. I want to give you props for holding the line on the no tanking mentality. A losing mentality will not resort
Yeah.
in winning. And people forget that people look at what happened with the 76ers and Hinkie and just like, oh, that's the way, but they forget Hinkie got removed out of his spot and the Colangelos had to go in and infuse, like the shell of an organization that was left over in order for them to turn the tide. So that
Exactly.
Hinkie ultimately wouldn't have led to it. They really had to build, they had to reconstruct the
They had to
whole
go get
joint.
Jimmy Butler.
They had to get they had to get Jimmy Butler, the
A
franchise
dog.
Steve, a dog. You
Yeah.
got to off the chain. But so I want to give you props on holding the line there, and I think a lot more people need to realize that, realize losing culture is not going to lead to winning. Now, with that said, no, I would not have sold Barnes, Buddy, and all of that stuff. If there was a deal for one of them that would have that could have kept us right at the same line or close and also gave us some assets for the future, maybe I would have pulled the trigger on that. But the Kings we don't get deals like that where we come out on top. We're lucky
Yeah.
if we ever come out on top. No,
Yeah.
the organizations don't respect us. So GM to GM, we always get the short end of the stick. We got to turn chicken poop into chicken soup every time. And if we can't do that, then we got no hope. I would have kept him. I think a lot of Kings fans forget that gap entwined between Rudy Gay and getting Harrison Barnes. We remember the scores, but we forget. And I love Shumpert. I got a lot of respect for him, but we forget how much we were just getting torched and abused because we had no size at that three spot. Harrison Barnes has given us that, and Kings fans aren't appreciating Harrison Barnes enough. I'm glad he's having the year that he's having now, just so people can't talk as bad about him,
Yeah.
even though they still want to get rid of him. And I like the way that Catnella structured the contract so it was declining in the
Right.
amount of money. It was top heavy. So it was the way that we kept him and acquired him and kept him was very, very smart. One of the few trades that I think we, came out on top, if you will. But
Correct.
no, I'm glad that we bought. I don't believe in the tanking. But the other thing is this, and I said it on the No Hezzy podcast with my guys a few weeks back. This is a soft tank. Like essentially Monty McNair has given permission to the team to win, but since he's shackled to Luke, in reality, he knows that we're still going to lose. And I get what Kings fans are thinking. We don't want to be back in no man's land when we're not good enough to get into the playoffs, but not bad enough to get a better pick. But one thing I'm not a big Monty McNair fan, and I'm not a Monty McNair hater. But one thing that we do see as an asset of his, and not just based off of Tyrese. I will say we got a little lucky there.
Yeah.
Our GMs did us a favor, but what he is good at is scouting. I like regardless of what Jemias and Bobby Woodard turns
Yep.
into. I like those picks. I like that he went for athletic guys that will play defense but can score. I really, really like that he went out for that. So we got to kind of trust in his scouting team and his scouting ability in order to find those guys. So it's better for us not to have Fox have less people to pass the ball to and kind of trust. And then the last thing that I'll say is our system players start only trusting themselves when they feel like they can't trust the system. And like you said, that goes back to Luke.
I
That's
mean, I
where they play
can't say it any
one-on-one
better.
after a
Like,
while.
yeah, you're right. I mean, we can't say it any better. But I still, maybe it's just a fan in me and the optimist in me. But I feel like because the Warriors are also mediocre, and the Pelicans are mediocre, and the Kings are mediocre, one of these three teams, there isn't much separating these three teams. One of these bad three teams are going to have to get the 10 seed, right? And when I look at the situations that every franchise is in, the Warriors to me, if I were the Warriors, knowing that you got Klay Thompson in your back pocket, I would go for the hey, wink wink, hey Steph, you're a little bit hurt, sit out a few more games, and then just become an instant contender next year, which is what's going to end up happening anyway. So to me, it makes more sense. Give Wiseman, obviously he this was before he got injured, but give him more playing time. It's not going to happen the more he got injured. Prayers out to him, and prayers out to Jamal Murray as well. I mean that was nasty. But I just feel like for the Kings, they need this berth so bad. Like if they can get the 10 seed somehow, and then I'll take my odds with De'Aaron Fox winning me a game because this won't be a series. This is going to be a one-game elimination, March Madness type thing against the 9 seed, and then ultimately against the 8 seed. I'm going to bet that Fox can lead the Kings to those 2 wins, and then obviously get swept by whoever they play. If it's the Jazz, at least they were sort of competitive against them, so it won't be that bad. But it gives him the experience. It gives him what he wants, right? And it gives Tyrese the experience. And now you fast forward the process of this organization, and I think one of the most recent examples was the Portland Trailblazers, the year they made the playoffs, and they lost about 3 starters, LaMarcus Aldridge, and everybody thought, CJ and Dame were going to be just toasted. They had no talent, and guess what? Their games elevated, and they elevated everyone else around them. And then ever since that, they've been a good fringe and playoff team. You never know. Injuries happen, and they made it to the Western Conference Finals not too long ago. So my point is, always trying to tank and always trying to get the next shiny trophy right in the draft doesn't work. And people want to bring up the Sixers, the Thunder. They have yet to win an NBA championship, man. So if that's the end all be all goal, the the tankers really have no true proof of whether or not that works, man. So that's what bugs me. And then obviously the best one, and to me it wasn't necessarily tanking, the Warriors. You know how many things had to go right for the Warriors to be what the Warriors were? Steph being injured his first 2 years, essentially, which led him to a 4-year, $48 million contract, which then allowed them to sign Kevin Durant. So many different things had to go right in your favor. So that's why I'm against tanking. And I just don't see a Luka Doncic in this draft, first and foremost. And I love Kate. And Kate may be the closest thing to him and maybe a better version of Ben Simmons. But what are the odds that the Kings even land him, right? So if you do all this losing to then not get him. So the Knicks have tried that the past 3 years. And guess what? They fell short of that. And they're the Knicks, okay? So high market, big market. What are the odds of the Kings doing that? So there's a lot of risk in you tanking purposely and then not getting what you want. To me, it's a Cade Cunningham draft. After that, I love Suggs. I think he's gonna make a Tyrese Halliburton impact, a LaMelo impact. But still, when people say they're franchise changers, that's such a loose term now, and it bugs me because they said that Bagley and all these other kids are supposed to be these franchise changers. Hey, guess what? It didn't work that way, right?
Yeah, straight up, man. Like the competence. I, I think I think Kings fans don't understand the power of competence. Like I know we want to swing for the fence and all this stuff, but really, if Monty can just get just a competent coach, what it will do to our leadership on the team with Fox and Reese, and then what it will do for all the pieces that he's acquired, and that he will acquire for the bench. And we have a lot of talented players that, like, if we were a better franchise, the Metus would shine even brighter. Like a lot of those
Facts.
other pieces would shine even brighter. So the key here is for us to just gain confidence. And I would love for all of our team to get some sort of experience, like where the games really matter. We could go farther. It's imminent and all that stuff. I would love it. Um, I just like the thing that's holding everybody back is Luke Walton. I just don't think that he can be competent enough or inspire the players enough to get us there. I hope we can.
Yeah.
But if we honestly, bro, it's like what you said. If we do, it's going to have to be another franchise doing us a favor and sitting out some players or saying,
Yeah.
we're going to be the ones to try to, go for a higher draft pick and just let the Kings get annihilated, in the play-in, or if we win the play-in,
Yep.
in the eighth seed. But no, like someone's going to have to do us a favor because Luke is just too much of a knock against us.
Unfortunately, man, you just ended all my dreams right there. But hey, those are facts, though. I mean, I can't get over the fact, and they kept asking me, "Hey, how about Luke?" I'm like, "Well, Luke's gonna have to coach his heart out because he's not getting the head coaching job anytime soon. After this, you would think, but you never know in the NBA." um, But that's why I was like, okay, well, we're gonna get the best version of Luke Walton, and whatever that is, we'll see. And so far, with 18 games left, it hasn't been very good, right? And there's been a lot of the same things from last year, and I was just
And from when he was with the Lakers.
yeah, exactly. I was just hopeful, like how Dave was on the hot seat the year when he won 39 games. Like he was on the hot seat, so he said, "F it, I'm going away from my Grizzlies style of play where I'm playing the horns offense. I'm just gonna go fast." So he coached to the strengths of his team. He said, "F it, this is my last chance," and he still got canned, but that's why I kind of had some hope for Luke to not necessarily be this great coach like a Spoltz or even like a Brad Stevens, who was also struggling by that, which is super strange. And that's a whole separate topic. But to be that type of coach, and it just never came to fruition, man. So I think his time is up. And regardless of what happens, if they somehow magically make it into the 10 seed because of other teams' incompetence or lack thereof, then yeah, I don't see them bringing them back because Monty's going to have to bring in his own guy. And the Kings have done the complete opposite. They always bring in the coach first and then the GM. And then that just creates this revolving toxic environment that we've seen the last 15 years, man. Um, so
Who do you want to be the coach?
I mean, in a perfect world, Juwan Howard
Okay.
from Michigan, but I think with him having the best recruiting class ever coming in and him not winning the championship, he's gonna stay at least one more year. I was hoping they won it all so he can just be like, oh, I'm ready to come to the league again. And I mean, he was under Spoltz for 6 years, so he has that experience, and now he has the experience in college. And I just think with his innovative um, new offensive principles that he can integrate and being an ex-player and just knowing that, I feel like he can command the locker room and just players will respect him and buy in, at least in the beginning. Obviously, when you start losing, everybody has Dev Tony ears. And same thing with Lloyd, right? Like Coach Lloyd got fired. Nate McMillan, who was known to be a great regular season coach, they've been on fire ever since. And I know that's your guy. Um, so I just don't want them to go for a recycled coach. Like that would be my worst nightmare. Like a Mark Jackson, like a any of these guys that have had like a Gentry, to me, it would be the worst thing that could ever happen to the Kings. Like, say Gentry, say Luke got fired, and then Gentry took over, and they somehow made it to the playoffs. I feel like they'd be forced to give him an extension, and then I'd be like, man, that's such a Kings thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to avoid, man. But there's a lot of good young assistant coaches on different organizations that they should be looking into. Obviously, I'm not well versed in who every single coach is. Some names, the Timberwolves guy, which I guess should have been the head coach, but he didn't get the job there. But top of my head, maybe Kenny Atkinson, who did a good job. So he's recycled to some extent, but he's still pretty young enough to where he could do some damage. But I just don't want like that older guy to come into the Kings and just I'm just against it, man. But who do you like?
I was thinking along your lines until I saw what Thibs did with the Knicks. The Knicks. What
But
he
that's
did with
Tibbs,
the
though. I mean,
Knicks.
Tibbs has always been great.
Yeah, he has, but like him with younger players, like he usually likes his vets and all that stuff, and playing his guys a bunch of minutes. I wasn't sure with such a young roster how things were going to work over there, but he brought that defense in there, and everybody else can get a bucket enough. So it was like it was making things happen, and they were over on the East. Didn't have to worry about the West. Yeah, me like I think they're gonna like. I knew Pierce was on his way out, and the second that they propped up Nate McMillan there, I was like, that's all they needed. All they needed was their defense to be better because they score a bunch of points down there in ATL. And sure enough, like look at how things are going. So I don't think we're going to get Nate. I think they're going to sign him up and keep him down there. And you know what? Good for him and good for them because all they really want right now is to be winners. So
Yeah.
Ice Tray, can be a little less aggro when he gets on the court. um, Yeah, I want Kenny Atkinson, man. He's not too old. He's young enough, and we saw what he did with chicken poop. He turned it into chicken soup, and he
Yep.
used a bunch of pieces that people weren't sure how they were even going to work together. And he even had to do things like, "Yeah, D'Angelo, we're going to have you go crazy out of your mind for 3 quarters, and then we're pretty much going to mostly bench you in the fourth, so you don't do nothing crazy and make us lose the game." And it got them where they needed to be. He got them out the mud. So that's what I want to say. He's very competent coach. He don't take no crap. The players will respect him, and he will bring a winning mentality and a, hey, it's us against the world, and guess what, the world's going to have to fill us. He'll bring that here to the Kings, and I don't think there's anything that we need more. I like headiness and elaborate offenses and defenses. As a hoop fan, I'll lick that off
Yeah.
my fingers. That's the seasoning that I want. But we just don't have the IQ, we don't have the history, and we don't have the culture to make something so sexy work. I want to like Kenny Atkinson get us out the mud, and then we get something like a Jawan or something kind of sexy like that. Once everybody feels more confident together as a team and in their own abilities, and I think then we could try something like that. But we're like a battered like whatever, like an abused spouse right now.
Yeah.
And what we need, we don't need a knight in shining armor. We just need like some stability. So I
Right.
just want Kenny Atkinson to bring some stability here.
Yeah, and when I think about recycled coaches, this popped into my head. Van Gundy with the Pelicans. He had all the talent going in, and he's a recycled guy who, again, older guy, hasn't really looked good this year, man. So if they thought letting go of Gentry was a thing and that he was going to elevate his team, it's been the complete opposite. And Zion took that next level. Like Zion made the All Star team, and Bi was literally right there on the fringe of making the team. And yes, they've had injuries, but so has everybody else. So I don't want to use that as an excuse for him. So that's why I'm kind of scared, man. But to me, Tibbs, wherever he's gone, he has always found a way to elevate them in the regular season. Like the Timberwolves, who had a huge drought, right? Broke it. Obviously had Jimmy Butler, which helped. But now with the Knicks, they're just they're so tough, and that's his personality. Like they take after their coach, and I don't know what Luke is. Like Luke was supposed to be a good defensive coach, and it's been the complete opposite. So,
Luke
oh
doesn't do
man,
anything good as a coach.
we can't
I
have
hate
nice
to
things
say
in
this,
sack, bro.
we can't have nice things. I like on a personal level, I get people love his dad and they love him. He's a very likable guy. So I get it. Like you can go far in life or just being likable. Trust me. I know a lot of people in another industry that make a living just because they're easy to work with. He's easy to
Yeah.
work with. But when you talk about talent, like what was he ever talented with as far as a coach? He doesn't have any specialties. Like his what he's known for portion is literally like people like him. You know what I mean? But I'll say this, as far as like down there in the Pels, they don't have an actual point guard. And when they got rid of Holiday, what I mean, and shipped him out, they didn't do their coach no favors. I know that what's his name, David Griffin, is like, hey, this is our first year anyway, and Zoe ain't gonna do it for us, and we got to figure out what we're gonna do with him, if we're gonna trade him, if we're gonna keep him, if we're gonna extend him, like, or excuse me, yeah, Lonzo. So was such a big question mark, and then he's going out, and then they don't have like once you have a solid head coach, what's the next thing that you need outside of coaching staff? You need the point guard, and they don't have that. So they were only going to go so far with Bi and Zion anyway. Let them figure out that point guard thing now, and the next year, I think they'll all look much better
Okay.
if they can get a point guard.
Okay. Any final things? What type of projects are you working on right now? And any hopeful things that you're looking for with the Kings, if anything?
Shoot, man. Right now, I'm writing. I'm a writer, so I'm writing a few graphic novels. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on some albums and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So those will be things that more towards the end of the year, people will know more. I had to take a break from these Kings because my blood pressure couldn't take it. And
Facts. That's what I should do.
but right, it's tough, but it's always a pleasure to come on and interact with y'all. And as much as I can deal with King's Twitter, go and deal with that. And then when things look up, I'll be able to give the Kings a little bit more of my heart. But I'll tell you, I am focused on the Kings guard here in the NBA 2K League that's about to start. We're on my video game podcast. We're going to interview Coach DJ Layton here on Friday. So anybody wants to know more about being an NBA 2K pro, hear how the Kingsguard are doing. We did a trade for one of the best point guards in the league, Mama I'm That Man. So we got
Wow.
him now, and things are going to be very, very exciting. So I'm just trying to get in with them, be an extra body if they need to, run some scrimmages and some plays, and go get in with my guys. There's a good group of guys down there, and they've been in the playoffs the last few seasons. So watch the Kings guard if you want to see Kings
Facts.
organization win.
Facts, man. Too bad it doesn't trickle down on the big team, right?
If only, man, if only.
We got to bring back the Monarchs too, man, because we missed that. But hey, man,
Miss them.
Skip, I appreciate you coming on as always, brother, and it's always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, man. Always a blessing. Y'all stay blessed and keep the videos rolling.
All right, brother. Be good. That was Skip, man. Appreciate him as always. That's going to do it, y'all. I didn't want to go through all the film because I feel like YouTube would have stopped it. But so far, so good. Thank you guys so much. Ankle Taker says, yo, you should do a post video of your dream moves for the team. Fire Luke, offseason trades. Yep. Let's wait for that until we see everything. And we'll wait after the season for sure, brother. But I appreciate that comment, Jeff the Lefty. Appreciate you, brother. And obviously Skip, man. My boy Curtis. Make sure y'all follow the Kings Guard, the only winning organization in Sacramento right now. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much. And on behalf of the entire CK family, we'll see you guys on the next film session. Peace.